Director of Marketing here at Beaver Creek, which is a very fun job, in case anybody's wondering. And we are just really excited that you decided to come and join us. I'm going to introduce briefly Tim Linhart, who's right down here in the middle.
Yeah.
And his wife, Brigida, who is over, just standing up on the side there. And they are the artists who designed and built this entire structure, as well as all of these instruments. So it's pretty amazing what they've done. They've done this in about 6 weeks. Since it's an igloo, it's a real igloo. There's nothing here that's, except for now the handrails, that's not made of ice or snow, so it's not like you can start doing this in July, which we might have all liked to have done if we could have. But we also have a fantastic group of musicians here playing these really unique instruments. I would like to take a quick second and introduce all of them. So we have Bob Masters on guitar, and Joe Bianchi on Rolandophone and guitar. This would be the Rolandophone, which I'm sure you've never heard of, because we made up, or I shouldn't say we, the name was made up by the original creator of this. And we have Ken Carpenter on banjo. Scott Cable on guitar. Jeff Armstead on the xylophone. And Jake Brooks on the drums. We do have a couple of kind of ground rules here. The first is to please everybody turn off your cell phones so that you can hear the music and, you know, like any other show. And the second is to refrain from flash photography during the main part of the show. This is all ice and the flash bounces off and gets a little bit challenging if a lot of people are doing that. So during the last song, and we'll announce when it's the last song, feel free to take pictures. So with that, I'm hoping that this has been sorted out, and I will turn it over to Tim to give you a little bit more information about all of these crazy instruments and the building of the igloo. But I would just remind you, too, that at the end of the show, be very careful. These are not easily replaceable. We don't have another Rolandophone or drum set sitting outside, nor do we have extra cellos and guitars. They take weeks to create, so all it takes is one accident, and we're down an instrument for quite a while. So with that, enjoy the show. Happy New Year, everyone.
As you said, my name is Tim Linhart. I've been the ice artist in residence here in Beaver Creek since 1989. So if you've seen sculptures in the village or in some places on the mountain over those years, they would either have been mine or my wife, Brigida. And I would like to add my applause to the builders of the house here. As Kara said, the house was built in 6 weeks, from absolutely nothing to what you guys see now, by 4 people. Wow. And that's amazing. Yeah, so I'm very, very impressed and honored to have her working at my side. I want to you might get cold after a while in here, so one of the things we're going to do is audience participation. So I wanted to share with you one little secret that maybe you weren't aware of. Your little hiney cushion underneath you happens to be slippery. So give it a little scooch to the side and the other side. Alright? In fact, we can even get the wave going. Free hiney slide all the way around the room. So when it's time to dance, there you go. I want to start by just telling you a very brief incident that happened to me the very first year that I built an orchestra in Beaver Creek. That was 2000. Up at the top of the mountain and in the forest in the back, I built a 5-piece orchestra of cellos and basses, the world's first orchestra ever. And I tried for about 6 months to get musicians to come and play. And no one would believe me that what I said was true, that you could play on these instruments. And it was already getting to be March, and the season was about over and they were going to die. And I was getting desperate. And so I called a friend of mine on the phone and was explaining the difficulty of the circumstance. And, you know, he was commiserating with me. And then he said, well, have you offered him any money? It's a thought never dawned on me. He says, I got money. I'll put my money forward. You do what you need, and we'll make something work. So he was there that day of the first concert, and he's here today. His name is Carlos Biceps back here. And in my opinion, there's no more possible to have a more highly honored guest in this house than that guy. Okay, the question now I'm putting forward is, why do we do this? Why do we build this house? Why do we build the orchestra? What's the point of this entire program? I believe that the substance that this house is made of, ice, also water, also vapor, is the most important and influential substance in the entire world. I don't think I need to tell that to anybody here. Everyone knows that already. It's here in the air between us invisibly. It blows over the top of a mountain, and it suddenly appears out of nothing as a cloud. The cloud gets higher up the mountain, and suddenly there appears a million snowflakes out of the cloud. And they fall down on the ground, and we scrape them up, and we use them together. In the end of the season, this will all melt, and it'll flow down the river. And then it'll flow through your plumbing. And then it'll keep going down the river until it comes to the ocean, which wraps the whole world. It's definitely the most important and influential substance in the world, and in your life, and in everyone's life. It's the one blessing that all humanity shares equally and evenly everywhere. And it's so important. It's the liquid flowing through your veins right now. It's the reason there's a sparkle in your eye. And I believe that this substance has a voice for us. When we create instruments, we create a voice, a vocal cord for that substance. And I think it speaks to us from the wellspring of creation, undiminished and unpolluted in time, and I think it's just the coolest thing ever. The purpose of this whole program is to explore the nature of that material and to celebrate that nature. So with that said, let's celebrate.